Seems very low in my thing.
I see you're trying to do the trash AI stuff, are you?
Trying my best. I screwed it up. I hit the wrong song to start off with.
I was like, what do we do? Is that me?
No.
I was like, I'm having a stroke. This is the end of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining us on a beautiful Saturday night. It is Saturday at 9 p.m. I feel great.
A true pregame.
This is a true pregame to a celebration of life for Toby Keith at Carol's
He's
Pub.
not as good as he once was.
But he was good he's good once as he always was. Can we give it a moment of silence, boys? Thank you. This is the man who...
I played the wrong song at the beginning.
He's the man... Why that was so random? I played the wrong song in the beginning.
I'm so mad at myself.
I like twaddles.
Twaddles!
Can't handle it.
Ladies
I
and
might have made
gentlemen.
these a little strong. I'm not sure how your guys are, but there I go.
Damn it, I had a thought. Toby Keith was the man who got me into country music, and it was truly made me sad because he had last weekend. He had a full set of shows last weekend.
No, it was in Christmas.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought wasn't his or maybe it was last.
Last shows were in December.
In Vegas, right?
Correct.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was last weekend.
You should have been a cowboy.
It was very deceiving how they wrote those articles.
Oh, thanks, Pat. No. I don't mean that as like a dick. I appreciate that because I read it like
the same thing.
yeah.
I'm like, it seems unusual that you'd be like doing performances and then die of a cancer.
Pat, you trying to make sure we're not working tomorrow? Like,
yeah,
Jesus
it's
Christ.
a little stronger than I thought. Sorry.
Okay, so you know what I want to start with? This bullshit. Ladies and gentlemen, cheers. After alcohol aid, blow me. This was worse than any of the other things that I've tried. I went to bed. Last weekend, we didn't even drink that hard. Me and Chris counted it out. 8 beers over probably 8 hours. Joe, smart enough to get us out of there, had a reasonable time, had a little dancey dance. Fine. Went home, didn't eat, did the liquid IV, did the BioSteel, 2 ibuprofen, and I shot these things down. Nothing. Garbage.
Yeah.
Felt worse than I did when I went in the paint on Chris's birthday last Sunday.
You know what Liquid IV and BioSteel are saying right now? How do you like me now?
Yeah. Tried and true champions.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that's two for the count for the record.
That was 3 actually.
I want. Wait, what was that? I'm sorry.
I said Pierce should have been a cowboy.
Yeah.
So I'm on 3, baby.
I like it.
And I think those are the only 3 songs I know.
Is that Toby Keith, Chris?
You know, Chris, I like to.
I don't know Toby Keith.
Who's Toby Keith?
You know, Chris, I like to go where there's a little less talk and a lot more action. You know.
That's a good one. Oh no, wait. So wait, I don't end this. But no, so to end on the note on this, where I figured out what the issue for me last weekend was, I did not eat. I had lunch at noon last Saturday. Didn't eat anything until I got home that night, and I felt terrible. And that's it. Like you cannot go out and not eat. Oh, damn, you're right, dude. You know how hard last weekend.
That's at 3
the
minutes.
video. Oh, I'm so mad at myself, dude. I had it perfectly, and then I did the run it. Stop it, make sure, and it was perfect. And then this stupid video would not go all the way through. It would get to like 20% and just die. Get to 20% and die.
That's weird.
I don't have no idea what it was at all. And it took me, and then the video didn't come out till like 10 o'clock on Monday, so we have no views this week. I was so, dude, it was, and then it looks like crap. I was so pissed.
Do we really have no views this week?
It's like 20 at most.
Yeah, that's 20 more than none.
Well, Peter's 19 of those 20, so.
The math checks out, Chris. Yes, 20 more than none is definitely 20.
So Joe's the only one who is not.
I appreciate you double checking my math, Joe.
No, I wasn't double checking. I just.
It's been a rough.
I want that above the door. I already forgot the quote. My bad. Sorry. I would have paraphrased it.
All right, fuck it. We're gonna get into these two. That's gonna be a wild one, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, brother.
Snap it to a Slim Jim.
Well, we started this night out with a 70th birthday party for my mother and my uncle, and a 65th for my uncle. Oh wait,
which
so this is red.
which uncle? I don't think they're both the same. It's just different color.
And
lids.
so,
okay.
So my uncle, who's a priest, his 65th, and then my mom, who turned 70. We did at Joe's on Higgins.
Do they share the same birthday, or you're just celebrating it at the same time?
I think they're like a week apart.
Got it.
It's good timing by the parents.
Yeah.
Knock two birthdays out.
Well, it's like 5 years apart.
No, but I'm saying, but they timed it still. You only have to have one party.
Yeah, my mom did a great job with me too.
That's close.
All right. Well, that just ended the party there.
I try. I'm trying my best to end the party today.
Great job, buddy.
Hey, at least I'm chiming in over here.
No, you're doing a great job.
Taking a nap over
Give
here.
this guy 2 carbs over here, and he's like,
Oh, I know. He's all pirate.
He's jacked up on Mountain Dew.
I'm all jacked up.
Sorry,
I'm
Joe,
gonna come
thank
at you with a spider monkey.
So it was a good time. So Joe's on Higgins' show. The food was tremendous.
Smells like Christmas.
That's what he said. Yeah, that's what he said it was supposed to taste like.
Got the chicken palm.
Nice.
Got the potatoes just drenched in garlic sauce.
That's Vesuvio potatoes.
Thank you, Patrick. We got pizza bread,
Vesuvio.
sausage and peppers, a little Caesar salad, and then a brick of a cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's legal how much cheesecake they put in that cheesecake.
That's gonna clog some bowels later.
Possible, but it was so goddamn
It's
good.
gonna clog some arteries too.
I hate people who are not willing to try. Like I was trying to shove cheesecake in Lauren's face. She's like, "No, I don't like peanut butter." I'm like,
Oh, she doesn't like peanut butter. I thought she was allergic to peanut butter.
"No, she just doesn't like it." This is okay. So this is a homemade brew.
Like somebody else at this table.
Yeah,
know.
we don't talk about that. That's the only fault. This is the only fault Joe has as a man. That's it. That's all he's got.
Yeah, you're pretty much right. Yeah, Joe doesn't have too many faults. That's
Nothing.
one of them.
Definitely
He's
some
not, no
clove.
flaws at all.
A lot of clove in that beer.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go over this. So this is a homemade brew.
Yes.
Very nice of a guy to ask us to review it on a podcast.
Did
He's
you
not gonna
smell
like
it? It smells like Christmas.
It does. No, it does.
It
That's a
smells
good
like Christmas, but it's lighter than I expected.
That's true. I would agree with that.
It's lighter. I don't know how to explain it. It's
I know it's got a back end to it though. No.
It does, but it's not as for a darker beer. It doesn't have that kick or that like fullness that I would expect.
It's got
That's
ginger.
fair.
It sounds like a gingerbread cookie at the end.
There's a little bit of ginger in there.
Kinda, yeah.
It's got a good amount of spices.
Yeah. I won't lie. I haven't had many.
I'd give it a 7.
Yeah, I haven't had many.
I wish I
homemade
wasn't
beers.
stupid and popped that they were different beers.
It's much
That's
better
all
than the
We'll have
beer that the
another one.
McGraw should have brewed like back in the day.
Yeah, that was
Ours,
you
was
guys
more,
made some?
ours was more like wine, sir,
Yeah.
not beer.
Yeah.
Get it right.
Poor Pat Lynch.
Was it
God
me?
damn, have you been in this? You've been a brother for too long. You poor thing. You had to try that beer. We were talking about it, and you know how Pat Lynch was a good guy. The test of a good guy was if you could stay over at my house and talk to us when we were younger, drinking like in our 18, 19, 20, and Pat would come to. We'd have house parties, and Pat would crash a couple times. Mm-hmm. And if you ever woke up at my parents' house, it's a war zone. And
Easily.
Pat was still nice enough to talk to us after that one hungover morning. So
Did Irish goodbye them though? I didn't.
Oh,
I didn't
definitely.
stay for breakfast.
yeah, me and Chris were like, should we text him and see if he's okay? I'll give him a day to breathe. It probably wasn't good because I sleep upstairs, so I never heard it. But I knew it was a war. My parents are just war zone people.
I'm
They
trying
get
to
up and they
remember
fight.
who was the person that was sleeping over the one time. I think it was Pat, where my dad was yelling about Patrick to brush his teeth, and somebody rolled over and looked at Patrick and was just like, Patrick, go brush your teeth. I can't deal with this anymore. And I want to say it was Patrick here, but I'm not sure if it
I
was.
think it might have been Frank.
And somebody tells the story, and it's a solid moment.
To be clear, you're saying Patrick, brush your teeth. Your brother,
our
Patrick.
younger brother,
Sorry.
Patrick. Yes.
That's
Not
good call.
this Pat. Just 'cause
But Frank
there's
was
Tito.
like, just to shut him off, go do it, please.
So please, yeah. I get it.
Just go use someone's toothbrush. Doesn't matter.
With what I was gonna say, but the other great story of that is back in the day, when we used to do the house parties. So Pepsi I fell asleep on a couch, and Pepsi fell asleep on
Oh, this is a great story.
the other couch. And then one of my friends, her name is Jenna, came in and thought she fell asleep with me. And she woke up in the morning. She's like, "Oh my God, where's your brother?" And she's like, "Go get Peter. Go get Peter." She had slept next to Pepsi the whole night.
No, I know this story. What had happened was
That's not Pepsi's life.
Pepsi was they were getting ready to go to church, and they were trying to wake Pepsi up to go to church, and Pepsi in his infinite wisdom was like, "Nah, I don't really feel like getting up." So he went from where he was at sleeping out to a front couch where Jenna was sleeping and just fell asleep next to her on the couch. And Jenna opened her eyes and was like, "Oh, you're not Peter. Go get Peter."
That makes it so much better. Her story.
Wait, Pepsi fell asleep next to her?
Yeah, Pepsi just went out to the couch
That
and
makes it
fell
a much
asleep.
better story.
I didn't realize that she was there or something. And just laid next. Yeah, it was.
Oh.
And
I always thought that she went and fell asleep next to him.
No, it was her.
Oh, that makes it a little weirder.
Yeah,
Pepsi.
Pepsi.
Yeah,
That makes it a little better. Pepsi trying to snip one in there.
I get
It's dark outside. Maybe she won't notice.
I ever tell you the story of we were throwing a house party at another buddy's house, and when you're younger, somehow it always ends up used to end up.
Oh, is this the Derek story?
If you were one of the popular groups, like guys at the parties, and there's a lot of women, for some reason it would turn into spin the bottle, which would just turn into everybody's making out.
It's just a shit show.
Me and Chris were never cool enough to be a part of
I
those.
was never cool enough for anything.
I was never cool enough either. But the one time in the basement of the one buddy, these guys, the girls are making out, girls and other guys, and then they would just swap and whatever. And 2 guys were making out with one girl. That's kind of weird. But this girl was making out with this one guy.
Pat just shrugged his shoulders like, that's normal. I've done it before.
And this one girl was making out with this guy, Andy.
Where's the challenge flag?
She was a little drunk. Andy decided to leave, and then she just started making out, and then she opened her eyes and was like, "You're not Andy." And it was my buddy, and it was my other buddy, Derek. And all throughout the rest of high school, we were like, anytime he would come by, we were like,
beers, man. It's blurring everybody's vision.
We're like, you're not Andy.
Taking naps with ladies.
Oh,
other
dude,
ladies are making out with other dudes. All of a sudden, they open their eyes. What's going on?
Million
That's
stories
funny
from
because
this
Derek and Andy look nothing alike.
Yeah, she didn't open her eyes. She just was like, I want to make out with somebody. And then she did open her eyes, and she's like, yeah, you're not Andy. And there was a buddy in there who started just almost peeing himself laughing. He was laughing so hard.
That is
so Chris is creeping in the corner watching.
Chris was nowhere around.
Oh, good times. Good times. Bringing in kegs, running through fences, all the good old, everybody
Or
has
Big
some
Mike
of it.
walking down the stairs. Hey, you guys, no, like 20 minutes, Dad. Just wind it down. Wind it
Yeah.
down. Fucking 2 hours later, he comes back. Peter, seriously, Dad, just wind it down. Just wind it down.
Do you remember the time where you
And Big Mike had less clothes on every time he came down.
Progressively got worse. It was like John Jacob answering the door.
By the other night, it was tidy whities, and you're like, all right, maybe it's time to go to bed now, guys. I don't want to see the next. I don't want to see the next iteration.
We bought a keg, and we thought it was gonna be a bigger party, and then just there was a bunch of parties that night or something, and so we didn't have as many people. Me and Pat were determined to finish a keg between the two of us. Yeah. And the next time I woke up, it was the afternoon of the next day.
Do you also recall how much beer was left in the keg?
Oh, yeah, and I went downstairs and lifted it. I'm like,
it was like half of it.
I thought I was a Superman, and that made me feel much less than
it was like half of it, yeah. It was depressing. First thing I did in the morning, like, I had a massive hangover. I'm like, let's just see.
Yes.
At least I got some kind of accomplishment. I'm like, oh, no, that wasn't worth it.
You know what sucks, too? I think about those hangovers, thinking, oh, this is kind of bad. Those, I would take any day that light of a hangover to the ones we have. Like, when they're bad.
Because you recover quicker.
Yeah, you were done by Monday morning.
Oh, yeah. This week wasn't too bad. The key is getting back into the sleep routine. Mm-hmm. And as long as you get. Sad story though. After 2 months, my sauna broke on Friday night.
No way.
Fucker burned out.
Wow, that was quick.
Dude, I'm so mad.
Now, let's ask you a couple questions here. One, how often did you use it in the 2 month period?
So the first week was 4 days of the week. Okay. And then after that was 3 days a week.
3 days a week.
So it'd be Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. And I would try to get in there Friday. Friday was like if I could get in there, but it was definitely Sunday. Sunday, I loved it. Wednesdays after yoga, I would do it. And it was just, dude, I'm so sad that I can't.
That's like 30 times and then it's done.
Dude. And so I called Amazon because my little brother got it for me for Christmas. We called Amazon. They're like, hey, it's outside the window. And she's like, but let me see if I can find you a manufacturer to like email or call. Mm-hmm. 15 minutes on hold. She comes back. She's like, I can't find anything for these people. And I'm like, that's right. And she's like, maybe you can look at the manual. It'll be in there. That's usually sometimes it happens. I'm like, okay, hey, no big deal. It's not like it's not your job. You guys can't do anything. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, we feel really bad. We should have some type of contact for them, and we don't. I'll give you $100 credit. It's only It's only $100. So she gave me the money back already.
Oh, the whole thing. Wow, the whole thing was only $100.
Well, like before tax and all that.
Well,
Pepsi got the credit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Pepsi's probably using it on porn right now.
Pepsi's like, wow, I got
so I got home today and I look at the manual.
To get home this afternoon, so that makes
sense. There was no contact information in the manual, so I got to figure out how to get a hold of these people. But I'm so mad. Like I'm not gonna spend another. I'm not gonna just rebuy it. The only thing that's bad on it is the stupid little the steam, like the thing that makes the actual steam.
So like the main component of the thing.
1,000%. The little pod's still good. The little chair's still good. But the stupid ass steam. Dude, I was in there last night. Dude, it was cooking. Getting real nice and hot.
You should just put it up.
And out of nowhere, then it's cold. I'm like, why is this not working?
You should just put it up and sit in it when Lauren's there.
You know what's fun?
Sit in it.
It's funny.
So Lauren broke this thing, so she didn't like it. In the
100%. I think she might have sabotaged
it.
Yeah, it's you, Brian and Lauren. I see it. It's funny because I'm like, so now Lauren. So I might buy the one where you can actually stand in, and then they got the little window. And
those are the ones on Instagram. I see.
Yeah, and then you just watch the little window and you can look at her. And I'm like, Lauren, would you get in that one? And she's like, no. I'm like, she's like, I'll get in the one that you broke because it won't turn on now. At least.
You're like, that's
you're the worst.
You're just in a chair that's covered now.
Crazy story. She got a thing for her walking desk.
Oh,
Yeah,
like
like
a
a
little
treadmill.
walking treadmill.
Yeah.
They have two of those in
Oh,
my.
wow.
They have two of those in my work.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's kind of cool.
it's weird to watch people do it. I'm not gonna lie
I'm
to you.
curious about those because if you get on a cheap, shitty treadmill, sometimes, especially because we're bigger guys,
It was a little wonky for me.
you can step on it and then the motors aren't strong enough or whatever it is, almost gets caught and stuck. You know what I'm
Yes,
talking
yeah,
about?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I always imagine if I bought a walking desk, that would be the case. Like it would just slide and get a little wonky.
Now I'm imagining. All I'm imagining right now is Joe takes a step and it like stops and Joe smacks his face right into his desk. That's what I'm imagining.
yeah.
The fun part about the ones in my work, though, that there's two of them. So there's two standing desks and there's two treadmills, but there's only one remote, and it controls both of them, which is kind of amusing because like.
So do you jack up the speed?
Because if someone's on one,
Oh,
the
so
other person got the same speed, and also if someone's on one, the other one's going, even though no one's there, it just keeps going.
Oh, really? I didn't know
Very
that.
No,
interesting.
I think it's just a my work problem because I think they have it synced wrong or something like that. But it's
Oh,
funny.
that's
But it's
very
funny because
strange.
they're like if someone's going on, the other one's going.
I feel like
to
Pat's grabbing the remote in the morning because he's like the first one there and then he's fucking with people.
There's one guy that says the one guy's on all the time.
Look at this guy run on
And
the
he's
treadmill over
like,
here.
well, people just walk on it, but they're like, he's on like customer service, so he's like talking to someone on the phone the whole time, and he's kind of like getting out of breath. It's really weird, like to watch. I'm watching this scenario. He's like, yes, we'll look into that.
How fast
right
you
away."
walking?
Yeah.
I'm not that fast.
Oh, baby, that's
All
hot.
right.
He's trying. He's doing.
You know what you should do, Pat? You ever watch? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but you ever watch like Jackass where they throw like people are coming down the hill like rollerblades or
Yeah,
something,
yeah,
and they
yeah.
throw like a stick and they fall?
Sick.
Yeah,
I
Pat's
should
pump-
throw like,
Pat's
hey,
pumping
catch the
up-
laptop.
Pat's pumping up with like a yoga ball.
yeah. I'm
Just
not
to,
gonna.
like,
I don't want to get fired over a treadmill.
Ah, fair enough. Yeah, you really kind of killed that for me. I guess the whole getting fired and not having a job. I guess we all need jobs.
I don't want to work. I don't want to be
Dude,
working SWA full
can
time.
we for the?
We don't want you.
What are we
there.
at? This is hey guys, we're at 175. I
Yep.
think
Oh,
the
hot
goal
damn.
wasn't the goal. If I got you guys to three or
You told me we could leave it
two-
100 episodes. What I was told.
I thought it was 2 years.
oh, we're way past 2 years though.
We are, but I
Well, no,
I
maybe
think
it was
that was
5
the
years.
original. No, it was not 5 years.
Okay, so
It was. I remember. I believe
years?
it was 2 years.
Well, you guys can quit whenever you want. By the way, you're free to quit when you want. I actually,
Ladies and gentlemen, this will be my last podcast. Thank you very much.
Chris, can you hit yourself a round of applause? We got to walk you out on that.
There's no round of applause on this one.
Joe hates this podcast.
I was like, I know what A and B are. I know what C is. And C can't be it, so I got to press D and see what it is.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm craving a little of this beer.
the
right?
second one's a little fuller, and I like it. Like in taste, in terms of taste.
Did anybody want a little? Or you
Oh, I just poured that one into here.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought it was a little light. I
Yeah.
was like, did we get a little shafted on this one?
This second one's a little more full and kind of what
Okay.
I would expect from a Christmas beer.
I'm not a good bartender because I poured myself the fuck you Tito's. The don't come back Tito's.
Just
the girl kind of likes you. Let's see how fucked up we can get them.
No, that's definitely.
No, that Pat wasn't thinking that. Pat's like, Jesus, what did I do to myself?
I read somewhere that like with these cups, they're like things like this
Yeah.
first line's a shot,
Yep.
the next is a mixed cocktail. This is a very strong mixed cocktail. That's where I poured it too.
that is specific to the Solo Cup brand though, because they're a specific
Oh, it's not a
size.
Solo Cup?
This is not Solo Cup. This is just your generic red cup.
Shit.
Red
Hey,
plastic
for
cup.
Red Solo
Red
Cup,
Solo Cup.
I lift you up.
Oh yeah.
It's time to party. It's time to. Just
He
me.
had a great.
Thank you, Chris.
Good timing.
He had a great bar in Rosemont for a time. That was one of my favorite bars of all time.
God damn, was that a great bar?
And not because of what happened on Frank's birthday.
I love this
Pat.
bar.
Yeah, Toby
bachelor-
Keith. I
his
love this
bachelor
bar.
party,
Yeah.
But
And then-
or bachelor party, but that was just an awesome bar.
Can I
And
say,
it was
you know
enormous.
why? Yes, you know why it was awesome and awesome bar? There's a few things.
Good bathroom access.
It had the
$5 22-ounce Coors Lights.
jackpot. It had the big circle, like the shoehorn bar.
It was an enormous bar.
Shoe-
yeah.
Yes, and
Well,
it was
there's also like
and,
5 bars in there.
yeah,
That's
but
also true.
that's very true. But I love the shoehorn where like no one was like you. There's always a spot to like wiggle in.
Yup.
And Chris is right.
It's because the shoehorn bar was away from like the dance floor stuff.
Yes.
But
yeah.
the other thing is they got rid of everything. Like you couldn't sit at the bar, so it was like
Yes.
you either
Yup.
stood at the bar, and like most people didn't want to stand at the bar, and then like you had the dance floor separate.
I
The
like
dance
that.
floor,
I
yeah.
I really liked that. It was on my works program, and I got 30% off every time.
I know you don't shut the fuck up about it. We hear about it every time.
Hey, you brought this bar up, Joe.
But yeah, I know. I just
You
Joe,
walked into
go
that one.
oh yes, this is my fault. My bad.
Lord, I apologize.
Oh Lord!
But that place, yeah, 5 bars, probably 5 or 6 bars
Yeah.
in the bar.
Great bathrooms.
Huge bathrooms. That was also one of the only Toby Keith, I love this bar bars.
It was the
that
only
was
bar.
profitable.
Profitable, Chris. No, there was one. There were the reason they had issues was the profitable one.
I thought
The Arizona
yeah,
one was
Chicago
shit.
was like the only one that was profitable and it paid for all the
sorry.
other ones.
I apologize, Chris.
Wasn't
I thought you were
Vegas-
saying that was the
No,
only bar.
Chicago
was
was the
Vegas
only
profitable?
one that was profitable.
Yeah,
that
sorry.
and it paid for all the other bars.
Yeah, it kept
That's
it
where we're
afloat.
going with that. Yeah.
Yeah, we lost a lot of money in that deal with my work.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, they went bankrupt on us.
Oh, that's tough. Well, Pat got a little money back.
I'll take a little more.
Good old Toby Keith, boys. I was gonna go somewhere with that, but I don't know where I was going. So,
Ice to melt.
how about listen? I mean, guys, I think there's something going on tomorrow.
Yeah, I was just about to
Some-
say
Yeah,
maybe
superb olive bowl.
Fuck the
that
NFL. It's a Super
that
Bowl.
was all right.
Solid.
That was solid. That was
you
really
got him
funny.
back, Craig. You
Yep.
got him back.
Yep.
He's back in your good graces.
That deserved a laugh. I know Chris was drinking, but that was good. That was good.
And I feel like we got to do some fun.
Pat, would you like to try? the
Oh,
second
I got
one, or
some
you
good.
done
I
with
got
this
some
one?
fun prop bets.
Okay, I had some too. I'd love to. Actually, Chris, you haven't talked enough in this podcast. Get in here, baby.
I don't think I
hit me
have.
stuff. Hit me with a couple prop bets. Let's see what we're gonna bet
No,
today.
lower it, dummy. Damn you, Pat Lynch.
You silly goose. All right, now you're out again.
I'm out. I'm back.
Prematurely got the betting systems out there.
I'm back.
What do you guys go, heads or tails on the coin flip?
Tails never fails, right?
Oh, I'm gonna
All
go
right,
heads.
baby. I'm back.
I like heads.
So they did it like a bunch of people like experts what kind of bets they were gonna do.
Okay.
The one guy's like, I'm siding with the over in the entire game.
Okay.
But he also said I'm taking the first half total of over 23.5.
So you're talking,
23
I thought you were talking prop bets.
I'll take that.
23. That means both teams combined scored over 23 points.
Chris, sorry,
And the
not
first
23
half.
and a half points.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
Chris.
Joseph.
Can I get a tails or head? Jeez, tails or head. Can I get tails or heads?
Oh, for me?
Yep. Tails, California,
I'm
right?
going to
Heads, Carolina. Tails, California.
I'm gonna go heads.
You ain't worth the whiskey.
All right, so we got 3 guys who like head and one that likes tail.
I'm a tail guy.
Pat likes the tail.
All right, so
I get it.
Another guy likes
Sorry,
under
Joe.
4.5
That
total
was good.
sacks in the game.
Okay, under 4.5 for the sacks. All
I
right.
don't know about
All right.
that. Not the most mobile quarterbacks in the world, either team.
Is this okay? Sorry,
4 sacks. So
football
yep.
question. A sack is when you tackle the quarterback.
Behind
Yes,
the line
sir.
of scrimmage.
Okay, behind the line of scrimmage. Good to know.
I don't know. 4 seems light. Don't you think,
I
Chris?
think 4 seems a little light.
They said 4.5.
I know Brock Purdy does not get sacked a lot. I know that for sure.
And Mahomes doesn't get sacked
Mahomes,
either.
yeah.
He's a magician.
That's true.
All right, maybe that.
Yeah,
might
they
be
said Patrick Mahomes.
But the Niners have a good pass rush.
This
so.
is why they said Patrick Mahomes is an elite sack, is elite at sack avoidance, 3.7 sack rate, second only to Josh Allen, and Brock Purdy.
Oh, really? I didn't know about
5.5% is better than the average too.
Let's see if the 49ers want to win, they need to get at least 2 or 3 sacks. Probably.
Oh, yeah.
Who's the quarterback for 49ers?
Brock
Purdy.
Purdy.
Oh, that's okay.
Mr. Irrelevant. He hates that, by the way.
Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, he was the last pick when in the draft year that he came out of. He was the
If
last
you're the last
pick.
pick, they call you Mr. Irrelevant.
That's a title I would carry. I'd probably carry that like a badge of
He
honor.
does. He just jokingly,
especially going to the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
Mr. Irrelevant is here. What's
Sorry,
up?
you know it's kind of
bitches?
crazy. I think he gets paid like a bonus, like hey, you're Mr. Irrelevant. You get this amount of money, and you get a parade in California.
I know you get money. I know you go to the parade.
I think you get a little. I could be
This
wrong.
is is on top of
That's
the
a PP
Super Bowl
fact,
parade.
Pat. No, I'm sorry. So when that draft pick every year gets a parade.
Can you imagine
in.
if you're like the,
Oh,
can you imagine
yeah.
Wow.
the real Mr. Irrelevant is the second
That's
to last
almost-
pick of the draft?
That's almost dickish. That's a bit of a dick thing. Is it the parade by the NFL or is
No,
it
it's by
like
Disney World.
Yeah.
Disney World parade. You're with Mickey and all those.
Disney gives you a parade?
Yes,
at Disney
at
World?
Disneyland. Yep.
Oh, I would take
Yeah,
that.
you don't get to go to Disney World. You get to Disneyland.
Oh, you're going to California for this
Yes,
one?
yeah.
What
Yeah.
a bummer.
You know what's funny?
We won't
Or-
even send you to.
you know who was a last pick in the MLB draft that was a Hall of Famer?
The last pick, and can you give me a
One of
team?
the Mets.
In recent decades?
Yeah,
Or in
we
recent
we
years?
would know him. He was a very
a very popular Met.
yeah.
Christ, I'm trying to
Trying
think.
to think of
And it wasn't David Wright.
He was a catcher.
Mike Piazza.
Yep.
Ooh,
He was a draft. Oh
And
no,
he was the
was,
last draft pick of the Mets, and
he was a last draft pick of the Mets. Really,
I could be wrong on that, but that's
He gave him the
that was
Dodgers.
S&P.
Didn't he play for the
Don't Google it. Don't fact
I
check
think-
me. It's
I
an
think-
S&P fact.
You're fucking lying to me.
Yeah, I don't think that's accurate.
I'm
I
pretty sure
don't
that's
think
accurate.
either.
Pretty sure that's
I'm
accurate.
pretty sure he came up with the Dodgers, right?
That's what I thought too, and I thought he was like a first round draft pick too.
I thought
No.
too.
He was a real late draft pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably guess this.
Okay, but can we go back to the prop
Well,
bets, Chris? You got
well,
4.5. We got 23 over at half, and we got the over for the game.
I then I have like there's some other fun ones here like
Yeah, give me some fun ones.
the top game props betting nuggets. A player to score an octopus is 16-1 at ESPN Bet.
Can you please give me what the hell an octopus is? In the
I
NFL?
was hoping you would ask. Meaning,
I was hoping you would ask.
because I had to read it too because I'm like, this is interesting. Meaning a player scored a touchdown and a 2-point conversion on the same drive.
Wait, a touchdown. Okay. That's an octopus?
That's an octopus.
Hey, you're learning something here.
Eight. You get 8 points on that. Touchdown 6. That has happened 11
I'm
times.
sorry, now I see it.
That has happened 11 times this season. The only octopus in Super Bowl history came last season when Jalen Hurts accomplished it.
Wait, he scored the touchdown and then he scored the 2 point?
Yeah, in the,
very
Super
cool.
Bowl. The
Very
last
cool.
Chiefs octopus was Mahomes.
I wonder
last
what the
season.
odds on that are.
It's 16-1.
Also, 11 people did it this season. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
circle
They
back.
also have like the odds for the shortest touchdown are set at 1.5 yards. The 49ers are minus 110 to score the most points in the first half.
What's the odds to score first?
I think the Kansas City. I saw something about this. Here's something for Pat.
Oh, shit.
Tails never fails is plus 100.
What does that mean that they're the favorite?
Tails is the favorite to win.
If it's a plus, that's okay.
No, it's like it's between plus 100. Like plus 100 is just right over like the even mark.
Okay.
So like heads is probably a little bit higher up there, but I mean it's like 50-50. So they don't really give it, but like some guys choosing Kansas City to score on its first drive. Kansas City has scored on its first drive in all 3 playoff games, and its first 2 drives against the Ravens.
Depends if Van Nagy or Andy Reid scripting that play.
I'm also not going to lie. I'm a little buzzed, boys.
But they also said the 49ers.
I just stood up and like, ooh.
The 49ers are plus 200 to
Ooh.
score a touchdown on their opening drive. They did it 10 times during the regular season, 3 more than any other team, but have not scored on their opening drive in either playoff game.
All right, hit me, Joe.
Can I throw out a couple bets that has nothing to do with, or not? Sorry, these aren't like big, the
Awesome,
normal
yeah.
bets. But I have questions that I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on.
Okay, but I'm
So-
also so 1 second. So the S&P bets are going to be, we're going to go with head for heads or tails, and we're going to go with the over
No,
for
I
the,
said
or we're going to go over the half, and I think we're going to go the under on the sacks.
Well, hot damn, Peter. You
Wow,
were
under on the
correct.
sacks.
You were correct on Mike Piazza.
He's half correct.
He was the last player selected, signed in his draft class, but he was drafted by the Dodgers.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, so he's the last player. He was the last player selected and then signed. And
How?
to play
I
in Major
mean,
League
listen. Okay, the Mets, the Dodgers. He was the last pick, and he became a Hall of Famer
No,
for the
he
Mets.
was not the last pick. He was the last pick.
He did not become a Hall of Famer.
Oh, he wasn't. He's not a Hall of Famer.
Well, no,
Yeah,
he's
he
a
is.
Hall of Famer, but he did not become a Mets Hall of Famer.
So it was the weird. The weird part is the way they.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was he not? Did he
Wait.
not play with the Mets?
No, he
He did
did. He
play
played
for
for the Mets, but I think his majority of his time was played with the Dodgers.
No, he played 6 years with each.
Oh,
How
I
does-
thought he's most famous to me with the Dodgers.
All right, Joe, get in here. Come on, give me something.
I was going to ask, how does that work? Because you have some players that played for multiple
Baseball
teams.
chooses which team you go to.
Can you let me finish the
Yeah.
fucking question, Pat? Jesus fucking Christ.
Hey.
Can't get a word in edgewise. here.
No, not at all. Poor Joe.
What's your question, sir?
And this is kind of across all sports.
Yep.
And maybe it differs depending on the sport. But for players who play multiple teams, like Shaquille O'Neal, I imagine, is a Hall of Fame basketball player.
This is a great question, actually.
But how
Even
does
just for him.
the player decide, or maybe the player doesn't decide, how does it get decided what jersey you're wearing into the Hall of Fame?
The league decides.
no, that's not true.
I
Chris.
think
Good.
for most, the NHL, NBA. I don't know much about the NBA and the NFL, but I think they don't really they give you a bust of yourself. Where MLB,
Oh, that's
you
true. Okay.
you just they list your teams, but you don't wear a jersey of a team. They just take your head and put it on there.
So certain teams, it's just whatever, and
yeah,
they
for
may just
certain
wear
sports,
a suit.
yeah, for
Okay.
certain, yeah. But for
That makes sense.
For
That makes total
MLB,
sense.
for MLB, you get to wear the cap of,
Yes.
and I think a lot of times they will take input from the player on what team they want, but
Oh, okay.
most of the time it's the team you've played the most games with.
Because I thought
Andre Johnson wants to be a Cub, and he's
okay.
Expos.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
no, but he played. I think he originally
I thought he got to
played
choose. I thought you got to choose the hat.
Oh, okay,
No,
that was the one I was thinking of because I know
Andre Dawson. I think, but he chose the Expos.
I believe the team. No, I believe he wanted to be a Cub. Because he's
No, he wants to change it to the
He said
Cubs.
like myself. I'll vote for.
He when he was going into Hall of Fame, he chose the Expos over the Cubs.
Well,
That's his own problem.
They're not even
yeah.
a real team anymore.
You know what I think about sometimes when I listen to this podcast over on Mondays is
Why do I have Pat and Chris on this podcast?
no, I love you both, but I wonder why Joe's the only one who gets cut off as much as he does. You guys like
I just tend to stop. Like
that might be it.
I don't like. I don't want to. I don't want people talking over each other. It makes for bad.
Nah,
podcasting.
Joe, shut up.
Yes, sir. Here's the other. So 2 things from last week's podcast. First of all, one of my favorite little things that have ever happened in the podcast was when Chris was trying to give out a story, and Pat's like, no, that's old, and we busted his.
For Pat.
We busted his ball so good because it was like it was a scam of $24 million. The other one is last week the camera was in the shot somehow. We all missed it when we were looking at it.
So wait, the camera. So somehow the camera was in the shot.
You mean the light?
I apologize.
Oh, the light.
Thank you, Chris. The light was cutting your face off.
Oh, nice.
I was so pissed at myself last week.
And we
I
didn't get
didn't
more
notice
views.
that.
But I'm bumped.
That was good.
That's good.
That was good.
Pat's on fire tonight. Give this guy a strong Tito's and Sprite. He's coming in strong tonight.
Let's go buy me dinner first, Peter, and we're good to go.
Yeah, well, listen, I had to buy a dinner tonight. You know what I'm saying?
All right, I have some miscellaneous.
Oh yes, please, Joe.
Sort of. These are my questions.
Sorry for the tangent.
No. It was I started it with the Hall of Fame question. All right, I have some questions for you guys related to the Super Bowl. Just wondering what your thoughts are. Maybe we could turn them into little bets or whatever.
Yeah, be prepared to be cut off.
But okay, so multiple things happening to the Super Bowl this year. One, what do you think Usher's doing the halftime show? What do you think Usher's going to come out with?
Oh, it's a good question.
His first song.
Oh, his first song.
Yeah.
I don't know them.
Can I? Yeah. Can I look up? Can I look
Yeah,
up
just
some
look
of
up a
the
list of the
songs?
songs. That'd be great.
And related to that, one of his most favorite songs of all time was "Yeah" with Little John.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I don't know why I can't think of who else is it. Oh, Ludacris.
Yeah, ludicrous.
Do you think if he? I'm almost sure he'll play that song at some point. But I'm wondering, do you think Ludacris and Lil Jon will come out for that song?
I 100% think so. The only reason I say that, Joe, is because they did a little hangover story on YouTube of like where's Usher, and it was Ludacris, Little John. I didn't know why Little John was in it. Now I know why he was in it.
Oh, okay.
So they did like a little story that was a playoff of the Hangover, looking for Usher in Vegas. So I'm definitely going to imagine they're going to be on there. It's going to be okay.
That'll be pretty cool.
Do we answer questions now, or are you going to answer?
Yeah. By all means.
I'm going to go with "Oh My God" as being the first song.
Can you sing a little of that, Pat,
That
please?
is a
I
good
cannot.
one.
Come on, just give me a little bit.
Nope.
You got any lyrics to it? You can read the
Yeah, it
lyrics,
says "OMG."
but that's not.
I mean, it does start with like, "Oh my God."
I can't.
Oh no,
top-
that's a different song.
I can't
I was
top
going to
that.
say I've never heard this
Let
song.
the beat rock. That's a very different song.
Chris, do you know it?
No, that is.
That's what I thought. I thought
No,
Joe
you're
had
right.
it.
You're right. Yeah.
I think it sounds something like this.
Oh my God! I mean, don't get. You got 10 seconds. You're gonna.
It's a little more toony. He carries. I mean, Usher is a very
This
melodic.
is featuring Will I Am, by the way, in case you were curious.
That is yes. Okay, so I am thinking.
that a
of the right
commercial?
song.
That was a commercial.
Oh, okay.
We got 10 seconds. You said right.
I got like
Yeah, 4
You're
seconds
gonna
till
get
it
us.
starts.
You're gonna get us a strike here.
So Pat's thinking, "Oh my God, that's actually a really good one." I don't. Yeah.
oh yeah, you can stop. I got it. Thank you, Pat.
So Pat.
I don't think he's starting with that one.
And what was your second? Yes, I think they're going to be there, Joe. Second part of the question.
Okay. All right. Cool.
All right, Chris, what do you got?
I have no clue. I'm just gonna go with the number one song on Rolling Stones. I'm gonna go with "You Don't Have to Call."
Okay.
Never heard that.
Can you
song.
sing that to me, Chris?
Couldn't
I
tell you
don't
what that
know.
one sounds
I
like.
couldn't tell you. I literally couldn't tell
Chris,
you what
they
that.
made
Here, I got you. You don't have to call.
Chris,
if
they
one
might-
thing is true, it's that Usher knows how to have a good time.
They might play that song. They might play that
That's
song. I still
not
wouldn't know
his
it.
song.
Okay. And then.
That was the number one song on Rolling Stone, baby.
I like it. That's gonna be it.
And do you think, in relation to the halftime show, do you think it will be a good halftime show, or do you think the general consensus will be people like?
Do you think I think or the general consensus?
General consensus?
That's a good question.
I'm going to go.
Yes.
I'm going to go no.
I'm
You're
gonna
go no.
I'm gonna go yes. I think he's gonna do whatever he can to put on a good show because he wasn't the first choice.
Not only that, I mean, Usher is quite the performer and has a lot of stage presence. He's a great dancer. He's kind of like what Chris, minus the whole bad.
Yeah,
bad
This
visual
is a
bit.
side note. He was the guy that gave people herpes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna give the
Yes,
crowd
he was.
herpes too.
Which is worse, beat up a girlfriend or giving someone herpes?
It's a combination, I think.
Man.
Totally
Those are
separate
both-
things.
both
Remember,
bad things.
remember, your face can heal, but the herpes stays with you.
Yeah, that's
True. But there's emotional scars that never go away, Pat.
Same with the
That is-
herpes,
fair.
Damn it.
Herpes are like you, Pat Lynch. They just pop up out of nowhere.
and you can't get rid of them.
Another question. Do you think,
Oh,
I know you
God.
guys don't like her, but
Wait,
do you think,
Peter doesn't answer real fast.
oh, my bad.
I'm going with
Go with Climax.
Climax.
and a Little John and Usher, or the Little John and the other.
Wait, I'm sorry. We got.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my God. What was yours, Chris?
You
Some
don't
song no
have
one's
to
ever
call
heard.
it.
Wait, what?
You
call
don't
it-
have to call or something.
You
You're
don't
not
have
worth
to
the
call.
whiskey. I think it's called.
Call us when
All
Joe's
right.
gonna come out.
What do you have, Joe?
I think I'm going to go with Oh My God. That is
Okay,
a
so
great,
2 for Oh My
great
God.
pick.
Climax. I'm going to win it.
I don't think it's gonna be let's put that because I think it's gonna be the winner.
No, I think he might close out with or it might be the second to last to really get the people going.
Oh, that's a good one.
I do think
Winner
it's
has to
definitely
take
gonna
a
be
shot
good.
at Fireball next week.
Why
That's
is that a
just-
winner?
Oh,
Why is that a
winner, nice.
Why is that a winner?
I think I
You
lost.
already chose, so
I
you
think I
know.
lost, baby.
If that's the case, can I choose?
Nope. You're in. You're locked.
I'm
All right, go ahead, Joe. What's the next one
All
you got for me,
right,
buddy?
do
This is
you
great.
think Taylor Swift is going to make it to the Super Bowl?
Unfortunately, yes.
God,
My
man,
luck-
It has no reflection. I mean, you're just going to fucking see her on the screen. Why does it
Because
upset
they-
you so much?
They have to go to her 1,000 times. The announcers have to make it about her. The pregame, afternoon, the morning, the night, the 10 hours later.
I'll be honest.
all we have to hear about is Taylor Swift.
I'll be honest. Also, not just Taylor Swift. I don't want to see I don't want to see the entire Kelsey Mahomes booth.
Yeah.
Just get rid of. If you just eliminate all of them,
Oh, really?
all of them are.
You
Can we
don't even
just-
want- you
can we
don't even
just
wanna
have
see
a football
Jason.
game?
I don't need to see. I don't
What?
see the other guy
It-
shirtless drinking beer. I don't
If you
care.
watch any of the games, literally
Interesting.
all they
Okay.
talk about is it was it was nowhere near Travis Kelsey. Nowhere near Kelsey. It's a Pacheco run. Let's see what Taylor Swift thinks about that one. Oh, she's okay. She's happy.
Let me see McCaffrey's fiance. She's pretty hot. Was that?
I mean, Taylor Swift's a very nice looking lady, and fine, 1 or 2 times a game. Like I see when like it's a mother or father, and they throw to it like your son scores a touchdown. That's heartwarming. Every other play we have to talk about her because it brings in ratings. Enough is enough.
Okay, I have a follow-up question because I thought you guys were upset about just specifically Taylor Swift, but it seems like you guys don't like. So, okay, this is my question then. Do you just prefer that they keep the football about or the commentators about the football game specifically? Not you don't want to hear about parents, friends.
Not the
If you're
whole-
gonna throw in a
It's just
story,
it's just
like
more focused,
but like an
on-
interesting story about the game, or like, hey, like Brock Purdy, his high school coach who taught him that, or Mahomes who taught him the sidearm, or the underthrow that is that. Okay, that's kind of cool.
Or like
Romo telling me how to
Keep
do,
it relevant to the
like
game,
Romo
is
telling
what
me
you
why he checked down on this coverage because that
Absolutely.
not because isn't it cool that Taylor Swift is here today? Like
or
who
like
cares?
or like the fact like when the Bears played on Sunday night and the undrafted rookie quarterback scores a touchdown and they pan to his dad who's
Who's got tears in his eyes?
yeah who was like an arm wrestling champion,
Yeah.
which had nothing to do with that, but like the fact that he's proud of his son being out there, an undrafted rookie,
And you saw
Yeah.
him once.
Exactly.
You didn't see him.
You didn't see
11
him.
times. And
They
again,
didn't go pan to him 18 times.
and it's not her
afterwards.
fault. I'm not mad at Taylor. She's just there for her boyfriend.
It has more to do with.
But I get that
the NFL
her
coverage
ratings.
annoying.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
also,
gotcha.
I'm not mad at the NFL. I'm not mad at anybody who's doing this. I understand. You show her more people who are not interested in football are going to watch the game. It's all about
Okay.
money. I 100% get
Can I
it.
ask you, this is not a shot towards, but like if it was my favorite, some person that I really liked watching a football game, I'm not gonna watch the game just to watch them watch a game. Like I don't get that. You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't
I'm not
either.
wasting 3 hours of my life to watch them
Oh,
pan to
but-
someone on camera. I just don't get it. I just don't get that.
But
like,
that's life
how-
now.
I know. I'm just saying I don't get that.
But think about. I mean, I 100% agree with you. But would you ever wait? I mean, I could never imagine spending the amount of money people were spending to see Taylor Swift.
Like I said before, like if you want to see her, that's cool. I go to
Yes,
a lot of
again, it's your
concerts.
money.
I go to a lot of
Yeah.
concerts, but my point was like she's like 30. She's alright. She's like 30'4", 33, something like that. Like she's gonna tour again, guys. It's not the last one.
Yeah. Okay. Another question: who do you guys think is going to win?
San Francisco.
I would like to see the 49ers win. I don't know if they're going to though. I think the Chiefs are going to win, but I would like to see the 49ers win.
Okay. What about you, Peter?
People say don't. I hear everybody's saying don't bet against Mahomes, and I think it's kind of be karma to the end. I think I'm going with the 49ers. I want the 49ers to win. I want to change the guard.
I think when you look at these big games, you look at quarterback play.
With
And when Mahomes is the guy that you got to, he's definitely the better of the two quarterbacks.
With the possibility that this could be Andy Reid's last season.
Yeah, that's tough because I really do like Andy Reid.
I would love to see Matt Nagy ruin Patrick Mahomes next couple.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't have any problems with the Chiefs team either. I like the Chiefs team, but like I personally I want to see Christian McCaffrey win it.
I also like Kyle Shanahan.
I think he does a lot. I think he does a lot of good. He's a scrappy white player out there as a running back.
He's he's the classic white guy, right? He's
he's
scrappy, intelligent, knows the game well.
That's a home to the league where they were talking about like certain players.
I knew you had to be referencing that. Where every time they reference the white player, they're like, he's intelligent, he's scrappy. And
just
then
always in the right
anytime
position.
it was
a real gym rat.
He's always in the right position. He's always in the right position, guys. He's always there to make the right play.
Anytime it was what an athlete, a phenomenal feat of athleticism. That is, yeah.
You see, like, Adrian Peterson, like, jump over 6 guys. Like, he's just a freak of nature, guys.
All right, question.
Who do you want to win, Joe?
I don't have I don't have any skin in the game. Honestly, I would like to see Kansas win. I think Kansas will win. Here's a question, though. Did you guys hear about Pat Mahomes' dad getting arrested?
Oh, yeah, DUI.
Yeah, it's celebrating too much.
And do you think it'll affect...
No.
He finally heard that the Cubs won the World Series back in 2016.
I don't think it'll affect the game at all anyway.
No. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't. I think his dad's... This is like his dad's like third or fourth,
Mahomes
too.
has got his dipshit brother he's got to deal with. He's good at distracting stuff.
I was about to ask, do you think Mahomes'
got
brother
his wife,
will be
who's kind
there?
of a little bit of a... She's a little crazy.
Yeah, he's got some. Yeah, his
He's
wife
got a whole.
and
he likes to surround
brother
himself with some.
Like to really just.
Yeah,
fuck
they like the
around
lamb.
and-
They like the
and
lamb.
create
What we
issues at
need
the
is
game.
more of Travis Kelce's mom, just a wholesome lady out there cheering for her son.
We just need less family in general in the games here.
Is
More football.
Is Mahomes' brother allowed at games anymore, or was he banned permanently?
I think he is allowed still.
He is. Do you okay?
I think maybe road games. I don't think he's allowed in Dallas anymore. But
last like pseudo prop.
Why
bet.
is he not allowed in Dallas? Because he plays for Philadelphia?
or was it? No, it was Washington. I think he did something on like danced on like Sean Taylor's number or something like that,
Oh, God.
and put it like on TikTok or YouTube or something like that.
Last pseudo prop
That's a
bet
real dick move.
related to the Super Bowl ish. Do you think Pat Mahomes' brother will do something that gets him into the news that is negative at the Super
Absolutely.
Bowl?
Well, can I do a quick Google search if he's done anything yet, and then answer that
No,
question?
no. This is specifically at the Super Bowl,
Oh.
or like maybe
No.
If they
the
win,
day of the Super Bowl.
If they win, I could see that.
If they win, yeah, I could see that.
Uh,
Like,
I see him
like
doing
his
it
wife,
either
like his
way.
wife dumping a drink on people and stuff like that. I could see that happening. Yeah, sorry.
Gotcha.
I was trying to see if I had any, but I think I lost it. Yeah. Again, but here's the thing: it's entertainment. This NFL, it's not like actual competitive sport. It's about entertaining people. So,
Yeah.
it'll be a
Are you
good time.
not entertained?
How many times has Kansas City won the Super Bowl?
They lost. They won last year.
This will be. They won. This group has won 2.
Yeah.
Two.
They're-
But they've been
they've
there
won-
what,
they've-
3 times in the last 4
Yeah.
Yeah,
5 years?
and who did they lose
But
to?
they lost.
They lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh,
and
that's
Sir
Yeah.
Thomas.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. Every time I drink this, my mouth is going numb because there's so much Tito's
Yeah,
right down
it's a
here.
little hard for it. The Kansas City's won a few way back in the day. Though, just I'm not sure the official number of them, but
Okay.
they've
But
won,
in recent
the
years,
recent team
with
this
all
group,
world talent,
but
Len
Mahomes has been
Dawson.
two.
Damn, Chris, baby, where are you pulling that out of your ass?
He was on the NFL
Inside-
show.
it's inside the NFL back in the day.
I love those old
Back
dudes
in the
on NFL.
90s when they had Chris Collinsworth before he was garbage.
I
as
just
your
remember. I
announcer.
just remember watching that and like, wait, I was a kid, like excited for the Bears highlights, and I'm not sure
Oh,
why.
yeah.
The Bears
Oh,
always
'cause they
suck.
would never show
And
the
then they're
Bears
like-
highlight, yeah.
And they're like, it's so frigid in Chicago this week. It's negative 20. Luckily, the offense was just as cold this week. Oh, damn!
and the Bears lose 20
And the Bears
to
lose
3.
24-0.
All right, so I've been waiting all week because I had a pretty good debate with a friend of ours named Max, who was on this podcast at one time at Joe's bachelor party, Chicago bachelor party,
yeah.
and
was
he
in
took
the
over the
backyard?
mic. He would be a great podcast guest one day.
Oh yeah, he knows a lot. You want to talk about a guy who knows a lot about a lot?
I'll bring this up when he's on next time.
Or guys that cut people off all the time. I'm sure Max would be like right off that.
Oh, you two would compete for cutting each other off.
Yeah. I'm ready, Max.
Max would win.
Oh
Max
yeah,
would
Max
win.
is too loud.
Yeah,
Max is
no
very
doubt.
loud.
So let's get back into what my question was. So Pat, this is actually a question for you anyway, so you can actually talk without cutting people off. Is Devin Hester is a Hall of Fame player?
Oh,
That's a fact, not a question.
I know. Yes or no? Thoughts on that? Where did you end up on that?
Yes.
Doesn't
Nobody cares.
Also, can we about those caveat in here? Do you think the Bears in Chicago, Bears Stadium? And I think we talked about this already. And this is a little heavy. We're supposed to be an all-around podcast, but this is a little heavy on the Chicago side. But the Bears having a lakefront stadium. Do you think that's going to happen, or do you think that's just posturing? And then the Devin Hester question.
Yeah, it's on you, dummy.
Just
Thanks,
sure
Chris.
The first one. I think that.
Okay, that's enough of you.
Thanks, Chris.
I didn't know who was going to get to it, but somebody's definitely going to
I
come.
was kind of waiting. I was slow playing a little bit. I think he is. So one question about the NFL Hall of Fame, Chris. You might know this better than anybody in the group here. Is there a set number of players they let in every year, or is it like
Yes, I believe it's somewhere around I don't want to say it's 4, but I think somewhere between 4 and 6, maybe 6 and 8. It's definitely a set number. They don't allow more.
And I believe this is his 3rd or 4th year of eligibility, right? And it's not like the NFL. It's not like the baseball where you have certain number. You have unlimited eligibility, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. So I think he is a Hall of Famer. I think he got.
wait, sorry, Pat. I have a question of what you just said. You're saying you only have a certain number of years depending on the sport.
In baseball, you have to be
get
up.
10
You have
years.
10 years, or you have to be above a certain percentage to stay on the
Yeah.
ballot.
So
Because you're voted on.
Yeah. So each
They don't want to keep voting on. Sorry, Chris. I didn't mean to keep cutting you off.
No, it's okay. So each year, in the MLB, you have to get over 5% of the vote to stay on the ballot. And you have 10
You drop
years to
off
get
after 10
over 75%. And if you don't make it in those 10 years over the 75%, you're off the ballot.
Yeah.
Now,
Because
granted,
they don't want to keep voting for the
They're
same
going to see
people.
these steroid guys start to fall off real soon.
now the caveat is there's a veterans committee, and every year they vote on players in certain time periods. So I think this past year they were voting on people from the 50s and 60s.
Yeah. Well, that's like how Ron Santo got in the Hall of Fame is because
Exactly,
of
yeah.
veterans group.
And that's how Michael got in. So, Pat, you thought it was okay for Devin Hester to be
I think he's a Hall of Famer. I don't think that he should have got in the soon because I think, like I said earlier at dinner, Antonio Gates should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. And if he didn't get in the first ballot because Devin Hester did, in my opinion, Gates would be in this example. Gates is more of a Hall of Famer than
That's fair.
Hester is. I think Hester, if you have a weak class and it's down the road, then yes, a special teamer because I think he's probably the best kick returner in the game's ever seen.
I think that spot is not Hall of Fame worthy, personally.
I think in today's NFL, no, it's not. But I think back in the day when they actually, the Bears don't make the Super Bowl without him that year.
I wish I would have looked this up. How many games did he play? Let's say maybe. Do you say maybe 50?
But I mean, it's also. I mean, you think of
yeah. Okay, so 100 games.
I mean,
is 100 too much, Chris? You think? In the NFL,
for Devin
Hester.
One thing I think about too.
If he played 10 years at 17 games, it's 160.
16 games when he played.
Oh, I'm sorry. So 160. So maybe 100 games is not too late.
I think
Probably
maybe a little depending on where he's
off
at.
100 games, he hit 20%. 20% of. Okay, go ahead, please.
Oh, I was just going to say in relation to this specifically, Devin Hester finished 11-year NFL career with 20 return touchdowns.
How many games do you know?
Over 11 years.
So if he played 60, let's say he played at an average 13 games.
He played 16 games probably because he didn't play that much to get hurt.
Okay, so 16 times 11, Chris, is what?
16 times 11, 160, 176.
Yeah, so I thought I actually had that right off the top of my head. So 20 touchdowns over 176
I think
games.
you can't just look at touchdowns. You got to think this way: how many times did they not punt to him so the Bears had better field position because of those things? How did they switch?
But you're negating. So okay, that's fair. But you're negating anything he can do if you punt out of bounds.
So
that takes him out of the game.
If you have
he played 156 games. But there's one thing I look at is how do you change the game in a significant way? And I think in his way, I think he kind of changed the game for kick returning. Now you don't see kick returning. You don't see.
You still see punts. You still see.
I
get the kick return,
but
the kick return was changed because people were getting. That was the biggest concussion.
Well, they were also but he was also returning kicks. They moved the kick up 25 yards because they didn't want people. I mean,
I don't think they really change the game because they didn't want everybody.
Concussions.
There was concussions.
Also, let's think of this way too.
Punting, nobody returns punts anymore because these punters just boot the ball up in the air now.
Also, the one thing the NFL.
Yeah, but so then you negated you could just negate his contribution to the game.
Also, the bar for the NFL Hall of Fame is the lowest of the major sports. People are in there. all the time that are like,
Okay. I'm just
this is not baseballs, where it's much harder to get into baseballs.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I just don't think he's.
Like,
I don't think he.
like
and
this
everybody's like, he should have been like Hester thought he was a first.
I don't think it's first ballot. No.
Get the. You had 20 touchdowns over 156 games.
I would kind of like this too, Peter. Like, how do you define the difference between like a kick returner and like a guard? Like, you can't measure a guard's numbers, right?
But he had impact on. Let's say he played a ton. He had impact on probably 75% of the game. Devin Hester for the game.
Well, he had 50% because it's half offense, half defense the most. Right?
Okay, you're right. That's fine. I'm sorry. You're right. But for Devin Hester, he had 3 plays a game that he could have potentially. And to negate that, you kick it out of bounds or you kick it in the end zone.
I'm just saying, like it's to me, it's like similar, like like an offensive lineman. Like it's not easy to measure necessarily.
And that's not saying I didn't love watching Devin Hester. He was electrifying.
It doesn't
do for anything for me.
It didn't bother me that he's in. It bothers me if he's in over guys that I think were more deserving based on their playing career.
Okay, Joe, do you think you had something?
I had a question. Yeah. So in relation to becoming a Hall of Famer, do you think the stats drive the like the being on the ballot, becoming this like sort of because Hester was known for being this playmaker of sorts when he would play, kind of like highlight reel. He was a human highlight reel when he would play in relation to returns.
20 highlights out of 156 games.
Yeah, I think it's
but he's also more than any other player in NFL history.
But for punts and kick returns, yes, but their kick returns alone. Cordell. So this is my other argument. Cordell Patterson has the most kick returns, and nobody's going to talk about him for
he also never returns punts, was probably one of his problems too.
That's all I'm saying. So there's another guy who's over kick returns only. That's not that it should be combined, but I'm saying, are you going to put the leading kick returner in the Hall of Fame?
We'll see. When he retires in 5 years.
Nobody's ever talked about him as, and the only reason they talk about Hester is because he was electrifying. I get that. You like to watch him play, but there's watching him do kick returns, punt returns. Is that Hall of Fame worthy?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at like numbers, like baseball is the most number-driven sport, and I think when you look at over the eras, like baseball's numbers kind of hold up. The hardest with pitchers, they don't pitch the way they used to, but like batters, they kind of hold up over time. Like Hank Aaron hit 500 something home runs, I don't remember, but that still stands test now.
That number's going to drop now.
Well, with steroids and stuff, yeah, but I mean, you look at like you look at the way the game's football. Like, there's so much more offensive categories now. Like guys in the 60s, 70s, they didn't throw the ball that much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's I think it's like football is much more of like an era sport, right? And if you look at like the kick return era, he's clearly the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. I kick returner.
I don't know.
This guy did nothing else in the game.
He was
a receiver. You know what kills me? Okay, so can I give you a little context why I hate him?
One thing,
why I honestly hated this a little bit is I'll never forget the amount of times that he was wide open as a receiver and just dropped the ball.
Do you think if he had a better coordinator, like if he was on an Andy Reid team, he would have been a much better gadget guy as a third receiver somewhere? I think you'd have a much better career if you got a coordinator or quarterback that actually got.
But that's like saying, do you think Mahomes would be a shittier quarterback if he was on the Bears?
I do think he would.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but okay,
sure.
Unfortunately, we'll never be in those atmospheres. I know him as a Chicago receiver. Cutler throwing him wide open and he dropping passes.
Was he with Cutler that many years?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And that one year that Cutler was on fire, and they could have gone to the playoffs. And I remember Hester was his number one, and that's not Hester's fault. He should never been the number one receiver.
I think Cutler's got to be one of the most disappointing players I've ever seen play football. Because he had all the talent to be.
I like how he just stopped. It was a dramatic pause. I'm like, gonna give us a reason on that one?
Well, I think if you watch him play, like he had all the tools to be the guy, and you could see that he could make all the throws
physically, or like including the team and the staff.
I think he had the talent to be an elite quarterback, and he just never seemed to get there. Whether it was staff or him or something like that, he couldn't.
I feel like that's a story for most Chicago quarterbacks, though. They all have this talent; they're all incredible, and then the staff just kind of sucks. The coaching sucks.
Mike Shanahan in Denver, who coached Elway.
I mean, it's notorious that you could have some of the best players. Well, I don't want to say notorious, but Chicago is infamous for having great teams, and then the quarterbacks.
The one year you had Martellus Bennett, Brandon Marshall, and Alshon Jeffrey.
All right, okay.
Those are some. And Matt Forte is a running back. Like that's a pretty good skill set.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair.
That is a fair argument.
I think he
I can't think of a better skill set in Chicago history that I've watched the Bears play.
I think he played to his talent. I think but here's the thing, he was kind of a Brett Favre-ish where
he's too much of a gunslinger.
Exactly. And that as a quarterback, sometimes you want it and a lot of times you don't.
If you could have reined him in, man. I just feel like he had the ability to take that next step and he just never did for whatever.
He just didn't have the right attitude. Like you needed Tom Brady humbleness too a little bit.
Yeah.
Where Tom Brady was more talented than people give him credit for, but he also had the humble and the smarts where I think Cutler just understood. Yes, Cutler understood he was talented. He physically was gifted. I don't think he really cared that much.
I don't think he worked hard enough to get him to that next level. I think he worked hard enough to be.
I don't think that was a Chicago thing. I don't think it was a Chicago.
No, I think it's him.
It was Cutler.
It's him. That's what I said. That's what I think he's disappointed because I think he didn't have the drive to get that next level.
Yeah, and who knows if Mahomes would have been on the Bears? Because Mahomes is a special person himself. Andy Reid, yes, is a big part of it. We'll find out soon when Andy Reid retires what Mahomes is actually, and if it is Mahomes or more Andy Reid. But I think Mahomes is a special player.
It's that offensive line.
Brady's a good example of that, though. I mean, I think Brady's like a great kind of. Brady and Belichick are a great kind of like case study in that. Tom Brady goes to another team, gets a couple good players, makes some moves,
true.
and gets Belichick this, absolutely famously intelligent, coach. Brady's gone. Some key players are gone. He's just not able to make the moves anymore. So was it the players? Was it the coach? For Brady, it seems like it was the player and him, maybe, possibly.
I think for
I 100% agree,
Patriots,
Joe.
I think that
not everybody has that though, or not every player. Yeah,
I would
you gotta
say
get lucky. It's a whole thing.
I would say the early part of Brady's first few championships, they were very defensive teams, and Belichick was the driver of that. And I think it sort of flipped somewhere in there that it became more of a Brady's will in his team to get there.
If Brady wants to be a coach at some point, I think he'd probably be.
I think he'd be a terrible coach. I think he's too. I think he like they say like him guys like him and Manning like they would be awful coaches because they expect you to be like them in the field where they're 100% perfection all the time and they're not. They don't make good coaches a lot of times.
I personally think that Brady sees what he reads and sees offenses and defenses so well, and I think he could like a Shanahan. Where Shanahan he's got Brock Purdy who's a pretty good quarterback. But he's dialing up some offenses, and I feel like Tom Brady a lot of times with the Patriots he didn't have he was calling things, making things happen.
Was Arians the coach for Brady down there?
Yes.
Arians said I think they asked Arians, "Do you think Brady would be a great coach?" And he said no. And he said, "Who would be on your staff be a good coach?" He said, "Blaine Gabbert."
Yeah, I don't think about that. I don't think you. Go ahead, Chris. You were going to say something.
Do you think it would be better off with like Tom Brady, where he starts off in a position where he starts off like a quarterback coach and works his way up?
You're right. Yeah.
Instead of not
the head. I'm sorry, not the head coach right away. You're right. No, I think you. But here's the reason he'll never be able to do that is like you're saying, Chris. Is he's got to be humble enough to kind of work because you got to learn to coach. I think you're right. But he just dials things up. I felt like
because I could see Pat's argument where like these guys like they're going to expect these guys like where Manning and Brady probably worked their asses off during practice, probably stayed later working their asses off, and that may tire on like a few guys, and especially veterans and stuff like that. But I mean, working your way up, I could easily see where like Tom Brady could be like if he started off as like a QB coach and worked his way up, like maybe doesn't have to like go to offensive coordinator, but did a few years QB coaching, teaching a quarterback, showing like, hey, I can coach up players and get them to perform at great levels. I could see him jump into a head coach.
I could see Tom Brady being a QB coach on a team, being 50 years old, be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm coming back. This guy sucks. I could
also see Tom Brady and Peyton Manning not being interested in coaching.
Oh no, it's just too much.
But also going up and like being maybe like a GM or something like that.
It could be not a Pat or what's the Lynch?
Like talent
John Lynch.
Yeah, like a talent evaluator.
What the hell are we going to talk about when we don't have football, boys?
I'm not going to lie. John Lynch, when he got hired, I thought that was a crazy hiring.
This podcast has been very sports driven, so I'm going to have to really get back. I had a couple things here I wanted to talk about, but that I'll save because we have a lot of we don't have football till August.
Pat's probably heard these stories, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're stupid.
What stories?
I do have a question.
Whatever you're talking about.
Go ahead, Joe.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, Chris.
I was saying whatever Pierre was talking about was stupid.
Yeah, Chris sucks. He sucks. Don't worry about it.
I do have a question about.
Can we get one more cutoff on Joe?
Got it.
It wasn't even me for a change.
Beer asked for it. I gave it to him. I gave the people what they wanted.
One more time. Try, Joe.
That's fair.
Try one more time.
I was reading something recently about Tom Brady that his ability to read on-field defenses allowed him to make split-second decisions where he could call an audible in relation to what he saw on the field. And I'm wondering if that would translate against him as a coach in that regard, because with that ability to be on the field, see the play, and then just yell out like, hey, we're going to change this, do this, would a coach be unable to do that versus Peyton Manning, who I think and I'm not saying Tom Brady didn't watch tape, but I think Peyton Manning is someone who can see and kind of predict maybe a little bit better what the defense may do. Like, he may be better to call a play offensively before versus Brady, who was, it sounds like, from what I understand, was one who would make a lot of calls on the field in a split second.
To kind of add on to that, Peter, do you think, like, and this is like a hypothetical, like this is from a movie, but could you see Tom Brady kind of being like in the replacements where Gene Hackman's like, he's on the coach, he calls the plays, and then the quarterback's like, I change the plays in the huddle, and that's the way I play, and like Tom Brady getting pissed off with his quarterback and wanting to fight him?
Probably.
Could you kind of see that?
Well, they don't. I mean, a lot of offenses don't allow. Like, I mean, Mitch Trubisky was not allowed to audible out of anything.
Oh God!
You know, it's interesting.
Not at all.
You know, McVay did to Goff early in his career. He would get the play call as early as humanly possible in the thing, because they didn't cut off your communication, your helmet to like 30 seconds in the thing. Get him up to the line of scrimmage, and then he would read the defense, and he'd be like, "Do this." Like, could you change the play on the thing?
That's awesome.
Interesting.
Wow. But that's when I was thought what Tom Brady is. I think he could see over, like, kind of get the defensive play, like that would see what the defense is doing, and then he could set in game plans, and he would be great at kind of transitioning from what they've started with to seeing what the defense is doing, and then kind of trying to figure it out. Yes.
So you're saying make decisions during the game
that would
help.
Okay.
We're
like,
I see Tom Brady fighting his quarterback.
The quarterback still has to execute, though, which is the tough part.
We're Adam Gates, who just got hired by the Oakland Raiders.
Getsy?
I'm sorry. Could not.
So Aaron Gase got shot down.
Getsy could not. He had a game plan. That was it. He did not change at all during the game. Or at least I felt. I could be wrong, but
his offense was really good around the ball.
Another football question, completely unrelated. Well, not unrelated.
I'm sorry. The guy, whoever took over the Raiders from the Bears.
Yeah, Luke Getsy.
Yeah, he could not. I felt could not. He did not change.
Aaron Gase was a guy that looked great with Peyton Manning as quarterback, because Peyton Manning ran the offense on the field.
Yeah. Go ahead, Joe.
Belichick is out in New England, right?
Yep.
Correct.
Where do you think he goes? Do you think he goes somewhere?
He's sitting on the couch this year, Joe.
This year for sure.
Oh, really?
All the
jobs
jobs
are on. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know what would be kind of sad? He really wants to win. He wants to become the most winningest head coach, and it would be kind of sad if he does not ever get another opportunity.
You know, it's interesting. Did you guys hear why Vrabel was not? Why some teams were turned off by Vrabel?
Why is that?
Because they said he was too intimidating of a person. Like, the GMs would be too intimidated by him because he's like a big guy and a very vocal guy.
Sorry, I don't know who that is or what.
Oh, he's the
former
Titans coach. But that's
tighten up, Joe. Tighten up, baby.
Got it.
That's
silly, right? But it's also sad. It's probably it could be another reason why a guy like Belichick's not hired, because he comes in like the GM.
He wants the whole.
He might be very the GM might have to give more than he wants to give. Kind of.
Yeah.
Question about what you just said about Belichick. He wants to be the most winning coach. How far off is he?
He's not that far, but he's.
I could say honestly.
I think maybe 40. Not 40.
I know
20.
I know Don Shula's the most.
Oh, like total wins overall.
Oh,
sorry,
yes,
I was thinking because he has the most Super Bowl wins out of any coach, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I can see if when McCarthy implodes again this year, because he does it every year, I could see him going to Dallas.
Yeah, that's maybe he wanted to wait for that.
I mean, Dallas is a better spot than Atlanta. Or Atlanta with Dallas.
Belichick is 26 away from taking over Don Shula, who's at 328.
It's not that close.
That's like 3 seasons.
He needs another 16 to beat George House, who's in second.
So he needs at least 2
He needs
years?
another 3 years.
He needs three mediocre seasons, basically. Three 500 seasons.
How old is he?
70 something.
Oh, I thought he was like
71, I think.
71.
You know what? I don't think he's done it.
Whoa, 70?
Yeah, he's around 70.
How? What? Are there a lot of coaches over 70 in the NFL?
No,
Pete Carroll was like,
Joe, there-
71.
Joe, there are less coaches over 70. There are presidential candidates that are over 70.
no. He just got and not to me. I don't want to go too political, but he just got I think he just got a mental evaluation, and I don't know if
Trump?
it went. Yeah, or no, I'm sorry,
Biden?
Biden. I don't know if it went that well.
The Republicans,
Nikki Haley.
the Republicans
Yeah.
are going after him about it, and the
I think
Democrats
Nikki
say
Haley
he's-
said he's not going to be the presidential candidate for the Democrats because of not how well
Wait,
that didn't go.
really?
But I don't know if that's.
He's,
in-
I mean, that
he's,
would
he's
be-
literally running in primaries
Listen,
right now.
that's a better. Yeah, I don't know who. I haven't heard anything about.
Kamala Harris is the vice president, unless they've changed who the vice president is.
God, that is
No,
just
she-
such a.
but they-
he should have dropped out. Like
he
should have like.
He can't have a conversation.
Dude,
I don't
I'm
want
so
Trump.
curious to see
But
how he does.
can't have a
I'm
conversation.
so curious to see how he does during the debates, because Trump is
But then
Trump
again-
is in a very fluent, kind of like quick-witted, just tear you up verbally.
wake up, Joe. Wake up, Sleepy.
And Biden,
Is not there.
dudes like us on the podcast, just stumbling over his
Oh.
words.
Joe,
Bad,
Joe. Do you
bad
know what
place.
state you're in right now, Joe? Do you know?
Yeah.
Do you know what state we're in?
Tremendous. This is what you want, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you want. Dude, it sucks when you watch, because I unfortunately am kind of a little bit of like a Republican, and they all just bash like Joe, and they're all giving Trump a hand job, and it's like Trump is the worst. It's
I love
killing me.
the trash talking between Trump and other candidates, and then right after they go
Oh,
out,
yes.
I support
Trump,
Trump for
yes.
the Republican nominee. Even though 2 weeks ago I called him a cocksucking motherfucking piece of shit.
Yep.
Get 'em.
Yeah, it's like what bad.
Or
it's
Trump,
such-
like with Meatball Ron. Trump's going to be the guy. And it's like, dude, he was going after your child and your wife.
Yeah.
How can
Ted
you-
Cruz. He got his wife insulted, and you're like, with Trump, his Republican
You
nomination.
fucking spineless piece of shit.
It's such a club.
Is Ted Cruz running again?
No,
No,
this
but
was,
like-
this was
yeah.
last
No.
year, or not last year, but the last election.
It's like, damn.
He called Ted
Missed that
Cruz's wife a dog, and then at the end of it, he's like, Trump has
she's a
my-
four-legged dog.
yeah, it's just unreal. Unreal.
And
She
again,
runs
not to-
around sniffing butts.
Politics,
Politics.
in general, Republican, Democrat, it's
Such
a
bullshit.
game. It's a game of nonsense.
Can we get a
at this
third party
point.
that makes common sense? Third party, please.
There's no.
our RFK.
Bernie, where you at? Come back.
Bernie's out there too.
Oh, yeah. He's too much to the left. Enough with the bullshit.
Bernie's also like 83. Bernie's
I'm
even
just-
older than them.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, he's like, who's the other guy?
RFK is the only guy that's out there right now.
But he's not an independent, is he?
He's
He-
independent.
Oh, he is.
Yeah,
He has to run independent because Biden won't step down.
Well, he also wasn't going to win it. He wasn't going to
Foolish to
true.
put Biden out there. I mean, let's be honest. And this is, say what you want about politics. I don't care. Trump, Biden, both too old to be in that role.
Oh, 100%.
I mean,
Period.
There's an age minimum to be president. There should also be an age.
oh, it
maximum.
has to be.
yes.
This
And,
is asinine.
and it should be like 60.
And also,
Across politics.
and you know what?
We don't need people born in
Fuck Democrats for thinking that let's go with Biden. Like,
Yeah.
if you cannot, how are you? Nobody's seeing this. Everybody sees it. He can't have a conversation.
But is it that bad? There's nobody better, right?
But they're too scared. They don't think anybody can go up against Trump.
I don't know. Let's throw a guy in there who can have a sentence put together. A cohesive
I
sentence.
mean, so many people hate Trump that like I feel like the Democrats could put even a coherent person up there.
But also, it's like, what does it become? It's become, in the last, I don't know, couple elections, it's become nothing but you're a piece of shit.
yeah, exactly.
You're this,
Yeah.
you're that. There's no politics anymore. There's no
They had
somebody
it.
to try
It's
and
somebody
do
insulting
this.
somebody else, and then that person trying to like
Yup.
respond and defend themselves from that. You need somebody who goes up there, ignores the insult, and just answers a question that was asked of them, and just like, because then they have to go and actually fight on their merits instead of like, oh, I'm bashing this guy and look at me bash this guy and he can't handle
When
it.
do you think the last election was where there was actual merit, like election things? And, like in my lifetime, I don't remember. Like,
It's
really
got to be.
any-
It's got to be maybe Bill and
yeah.
George,
Yeah, the
and
90s.
George Senior, because I think George Senior was a.
Was Gore and Bush were they actually debating anything? I don't. We were very young.
I think they
We
were
like
Gore
10,
and Bush
12.
did, yes.
I think it's. I think it ended.
I want to
when it
say
was,
Dole and Clinton may have been pretty clean too. Like Bob Dole was an older guy. And
Bob Dole. You know.
It might have been George, and then George and John Kerry. I don't think they had too much of a like. It wasn't.
No.
It wasn't shit slinging.
I mean,
It was
Barack
still-
and
yeah.
McCain were pretty They were pretty.
That got a little not on his side.
But
I think
McCain shut a lot of that shit down.
Yes,
When he
McCain's a better
stuff,
person than most.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of
true.
Like he's like I remember bringing up he's not an American, things like that, and he's like he's an American. He cares about America. Like let's talk about like real things.
That's a good point because McCain was a very stand-up guy.
Yeah.
Barack was a stand-up guy. But the parties that
Yes.
backed him,
they
they were the ones slinging the shit.
They pushed the Alaskan lady on him on McCain as like a last.
What's her name?
there's an HBO thing with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause that's not who you want.
I don't even feel like Mitch McConnell was even that bad in terms of like him and Obama going at it. Like they didn't seem like like they differed on stuff, but like they weren't
I
like.
think you might have someone else confused there.
No, Mitt Romney, Chris.
Mitt
but
Romney,
you're right.
yes,
You're right.
yeah.
That wasn't that bad
Not
either.
Mitch McConnell.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, well, and there's their political hour by the S&P podcast.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Ladies and gentlemen.
don't take any of those things.
Yeah,
to heart.
well, that's like an S&P fact. Don't listen to it. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you coming here and enjoying a beautiful pregame with us. We're about to go hit up a bar that is celebrating Toby Keith. We're a little late. Got to get our masses moving here.
Not that late.
You're right. Probably not too bad.
We're paying a cover at this point.
We're
yes.
cover anyway. So
Do yourself a favor. Get yourself a Liquid IV. Get yourself a BioSteel.
Get a beer for your horse.
Get a beer for your horse.
Get your red Solo cup.
Yes.
And
Damn,
have
that
a
was good.
party.
And have a party. And hey, you might not be as good as you once were, but you're good as you always were. And like our good friend says, ain't no party like a pregame party. Thank you for joining us here. Have a wonderful week. If you want us to do us a favor, hit that subscribe, like button. You can email Pat Lynch, who's decided he's done for the podcast, at the S&P podcast at gmail.com. Going to wish a couple old people some happy birthdays who don't watch this podcast, but good old Margaret and Uncle Ken.
Happy birthday to you guys.
Pat, thank you again for the hospitality. Boys, let's go have some fun.
Pat's watching cats on Instagram again. Bye.